what is the first step to actually making a dream happen? What's that first step? The first step is believing it will happen. Belief. You must believe that you can achieve something before it happens. It must be so crystal clear in your mind, so tangible, even though it's not in the physical yet, so tangible in your mind that it's possible for you. You have to believe in it wholeheartedly before you can actually make it happen. And so a lot of this has to do with your mindset. A lot of this has to do with the way that you think about yourself and the way that you think about your ability to figure things out. The way you think about yourself and your ability to figure things out. So the first is really your self-esteem. What do you think about yourself? How do you talk to yourself? What is that narrative that is going on in your mind about who you're capable of becoming? I remember when I first started entrepreneurship, I really had a poor narrative about myself. I'm like, who am I to be an entrepreneur? Who am I to start this business? Who am I to even think that this is possible? There was that nagging voice within me, nagging voice of self-doubt, the nagging voice of, are you really sure, Dom, that you can do this? You've never done it before. Why do you think you could? And it was literally that voice going through my head. So what is it? How are you talking about yourself? What do you think about yourself? Write it down. What do you think about yourself? Just write it down. Take your notebook, take your pen. Oh, look, my kids are writing on my pad. But what do you think about yourself? What do you think about yourself? And then second is to think about, what is your ability to figure things out? Can you figure out how to do something you've never done before? Can you figure out how to do something that you've never done before? Yes? Yes, yes? All right. If you can tell yourself, yes, I can figure it out. I got this. I can figure it out. I can go read books. I can go talk to people. That is the second element of actually making the dream come true. Your ability to figure things out. So first is really that belief. What do you believe? And then the second is, do you believe that you can figure it out? And then actually taking the steps. Every time I finish these videos or every time I finish an episode, I say, be bold, be positive, and take action every day. I specifically say that because it takes courage. It takes courage to do things you've never done before. And it takes positivity to believe that you can actually make it happen. You have to talk well of yourself. You're like, yeah, I can do it. It's like, Muhammad Ali, when he's like, I'm the greatest, I'm the greatest. And that's great self-talk right there. He's talking himself into believing who he has not yet become. He's talking himself into believing who he has not yet become. I hope we didn't jumble those words too much. So believing yourself, believing that you can actually achieve your biggest dreams, believing that you can actually achieve that great vision that you have. Belief is so important. And the second is believing in your ability to figure things out. You're not going to know how to achieve the big thing, so you have to figure it out. The greatest people, the most successful people, most high-performing people that are still, maintaining that positivity and that well-being, they study. They study. They study the greatest. They study the people that have gone before them. They study the habits and the mindset and the nuances of how these other successful people have lived so they can adapt it to their own life and experience greatness. We all have greatness within us. It's just a choice. It's a choice, and it's also consistency, being able to be consistent in your choices towards believing that you can achieve that great big thing. It's consistency in talking well of yourself, like, I can do this, I'm capable. I don't know it yet, but I'm going to figure it out. And it's that attitude of, it's okay, I don't know it, I'm going to figure it out. It's okay if I fail, I'm going to figure it out. It's okay if I make a mistake, I'm going to figure it out. And then you just keep telling yourself that. You keep telling yourself that, and eventually you're going to figure it out. You're going to figure it out the way that you specifically need to figure it out. Everyone has a different journey on this personal growth, personal development journey. Everyone's going to have different challenges, different life situations, But as long as you believe that you can figure it out, it's going to be okay. You're building out that confidence in yourself. First, it's the story that you're telling yourself. And then it's, second, pushing yourself to do things you haven't done before. Pushing yourself outside of your comfort zone. My kids recently, they did a ropes course, and there was like level 1, level 2, and level 3. And each level gets harder and harder. And they just, what I love about the twins, they just went at it. There was no hesitation. They're like, I got this, Mom. I got this. They've never done it before. And they're just like, I got this. And I'm like, wow, like if we as adults can have that sense of boldness to just say like, hey, I haven't done this before, but I got this. I'm going to learn it, even if I'm scared. And it's that moment that you decide, I'm scared, but I'm going to do it anyway. It's that moment. And we all have those moments in our lives. The moment when we ask that person who we really have a crush on out on a date, or the moment we ask for that promotion, or the moment we stand up for ourselves, or the moment that we finally say yes to the thing that we've always wanted. It's that little moment, that decisive moment in our lives. And we have many of those throughout our lives, where you just say, yes, I'm just going to go for it. I'm just going to do it. And so that is that belief in oneself. And then the action is reinforcing that belief in oneself. And the more and more you reinforce this belief that you're able to do things you haven't done before, you're going to be able to do things you haven't done before. And so on it goes. It's constantly believing more and more of yourself, so then you can grow into this bigger version of yourself. I wasn't always super confident in speaking. I would get nervous about it, but then the more and more I did it, and the more and more I told myself it's okay to make mistakes, it's okay to not know everything all the time, or it's okay to to have that moment where you're like a little bit freaked out. It's okay. And I would tell myself that, I became a better speaker. I became more spontaneous. I became more able to just go with the flow. And that's my journey. I know everyone, they learn things differently. Like, this is just the way that I learn. I learn by doing. I have to actually throw myself in there to actually do the thing I haven't done before, so then I can see how I feel about it. And that's my personal way of learning through life. Other people, they may have to read about it first and then ask questions. Everyone has a different way. Whatever way works for you. Remember, the first thing is to believe that it's possible. And the second thing is to believe that you're able to figure it out. Believe that it's possible and believe that you're able to figure it out. So no matter what happens, you're just going to keep pushing yourself into these uncomfortable situations. And someone might say Dom, what are you why would I want to do that? That's the only way that you grow. You're not going to grow if you stay stagnant and you keep doing things and doing life the same way over and over again. Yes, that is comfortable. Yes, that is, you can get to a certain level of mastery in your life, but eventually you're going to plateau and it's going to feel easy, and you don't want that. Or at least if you want to grow, you don't want to stay stagnant. You want to continually grow. You want to continually expand yourself, push yourself, challenge yourself, and ask yourself, what else am I capable of? Because that's the joy of life. What's the Abraham Lincoln quote? It's not the years in your life, it's the life in your years that matter. It's the life in your years that matter. You can have, 50 amazing life-filled years where you just took crazy risk, or you can have 100 years of just playing it safe. What life has more life in it? So I challenge you and I urge you, if you got a list, if you got that bucket list, if you got a list of things that you want to do, believe in yourself, believe that you're able to do it. And then practice that ability to figure it out. If you don't know how to do it, figure out how to do it and then write about it. Go teach someone else your process. I just taught you mine. I learned by doing. That's what I do. I learn by doing, and I see other people. I kind of get their style, get that person's style, and then I make my own style and I adapt it. Because we're constantly evolving human beings. We have lots of different situations happening in our life, lots of different, just lots of things coming at us. But then, there's something within that we must all harness and develop and believe in. Because that is essentially what I really believe is That is our essence, our potential expressing itself in the world. But it takes courage, and it takes action, and it takes belief, and it takes consistent movement. You got to keep moving forward, even if it's just a little bit. Keep moving forward, even if it's just a little bit. All right. I hope this episode inspired you. If it did, make sure you subscribe to the channel and share it with 3 friends. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you learned. Let me know what inspired you. All right. I'll see you next week.